Brave Bird will be moving our Ho-Oh from the field of play, but this just sets up a massive Thundershock farm down. Zapdos comes in, gets that farm down, leaving with residual energy good to go. Giratina re-enters the arena and is instantly going to be greeted with a Drill Peck. The opponent now receiving the energy for the Ancient Power. The theCharonsClaw tries to make the catch. Zapdos bulk about to be put to test. Is Ancient Power enough? 2 knockouts? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out. So welcome back to the channel. Today is League Turnover Day and I for one cannot wait as I am so fed up of the Love Cup. We've also currently got the Master League available. Unfortunately, I don't really have the Pokemon to take part in that format. I know a lot of people like it and I for one love shoutcasting it. Today we're going to be taking a look at a very powerful triple shadow team in that open Master League format. It's no secret that Rhyperior is without a doubt a top meta threat. Having access to Mud Slap, Rock Wrecker and Breaking Swipe make it an absolute menace. It is able to muscle its way through so many matchups. Most people pair this with a flyer, most commonly Yveltal. However, that leaves you weak to certain core breakers such as Enamorus, which was recently added in raids, and Tapu Bulu. However, there's a flyer available in its shadow form that can shut them anti-meta threats down. Of course, that is the Kanto flyer Zapdos. Not only have we got Zapdos, we're running a double flying strategy. This team performed fantastically for the theCharonsClaw, able to gain a couple of hundred elo. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, the theCharonsClaw finds himself in a pressure situation. He needs to win this battle. The opponent running a purified shiny Ho-Oh, which means they purified their shadow shiny, which is sacrilege. Thankfully so far, things are looking good for us. The opponent switched out that lead and sent out Xerneas. Xerneas is hard punished by the correct version of Ho-Oh, the shadow variant. The opponent looking to make a play at switch advantage. The theCharonsClaw not going to allow that to happen. Happy to shield up the Thunder. Holy crap, I did not see that coming. I was going to say the Moonblast or close combat, but the opponent really did have some surprise tech. Back out comes the opposing Ho-Oh. We fire off the Brave Bird. Brave Bird forces the Protect Shield. The theCharonsClaw able to reach the next Brave Bird. And this one will be doing a good solid chunk of their HP. We get the opposing Ho-Oh deep into the red health range. The theCharonsClaw sends out Rhyperior, looking to use it as the damage sponge. The opponent, no! Solar Beam us! The opponent running yet more surprise tech. And it's all down to Zapdos to clean up. Out comes Landorus, and we now find ourselves in the bait game. We land the first Drill Peck. As the opponent has no protection, they farm up to the Stone Edge. The theCharonsClaw instantly deploys the shield. The opponent go for the Sancia Storm bait. Zapdos gonna overfarm. Fire off the Drill Peck. Debuffed. Is Drill Peck enough to knock out? Yes, it is, thankfully. Oh boy. Oh, we get out of jail. Back out comes Ho-Oh, and we full send the Thunderbolt. Is it necessary? Super necessary to put the stamp of authority on this battle, and we're off to a 1-0 start. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle. We see Rhyperior into Yveltal. These two Pokemon, normally like two peas in a pod, on the same team, but this time they face off against one another. The theCharonsClaw goes straight for the Rock Wrecker, trying to sneak it through 2 Protect Shields. The opponent like, no, and they put up that Protect Shield. We then see the Save Switch into Ho-Oh. Even the shadow variant of Ho-Oh has some reasonable bulk. The opponent fire off the Oblivion Wing, and there is the Rhyperior. Did I not tell you they're like two peas in a pod? Unfortunately, we don't have Solar Beams. The theCharonsClaw gonna fire off the Sacred Fire. Even resisted, still putting them below half health. We see the theCharonsClaw invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the Surf. The theCharonsClaw looking to make a play at taking back switch advantage, looking to align Zapdos onto that Yveltal. We reach the Brave Bird. Brave Bird goes unshielded and removes Rhyperior from the field of play. As we did debuff our own defense, the opponent doesn't get too much farm. Zapdos hits the field of play. The opponent stays in, looking for some chip and dip action. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent fire off the Focus Blast. Holy. Zapdos didn't make that blast look particularly resisted. Out comes Tapu Bulu. Zapdos already finds itself deep in the red and now has a debuff defense, but Zapdos has so much energy. The theCharonsClaw unleashes the first Drill Peck, which goes unshielded, rocking them deep into the red. The theCharonsClaw goes to the correct one Thundershock and the next Drill Peck. Drill Peck goes unshielded. The opponent put all their hopes and dreams onto Yveltal, but Yveltal unable to sucker punch farm down Zapdos before the next Drill Peck's reached. Drill Peck gets the opponent deep into the red. We come in with Rhyperior, get that double resisted, Mud Slap farm down, and take that game. In the next battle, we have found ourselves our problem. We are ABA weak to the bulky blue whale. We say switch into the one thing, in theory, that should beat Kyogre, our electric type. Zapdos goes straight for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt gonna force that Protect Shield off Tapu Lele. To be honest, if we can get all shields down, both Brave Bird and Rock Wrecker would do some very respectable damage to the ever bulky, ever annoying whale. Zapdos going to farm up to the Thunderbolt bait with the Drill Peck. Drill Peck forced the opponent's final Protect Shield, and Zapdos even able to reach Wonder Part in Drill Peck. Drill Peck, unfortunately not quite enough to KO, a quick switch into Rhyperior for a 1 Mud Slap running start. That running start is going to enable us to reach the Rock Wrecker. Rock Wrecker, a Blast Burn clone, and if you don't know, it's going to clap. Ooh, big damage. Koga does get that farm down, leaving with a charge move, and I love this play. Just sacrifice Zapdos, say Ho-Oh, have a Protect Shield, and sweep the back line. Out comes Zacian, so things are looking good. The opponent, of course, will have access to Wild Charge. We're going to go straight for the Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire actually removes them from the field of play, so who cares about any Wild Charge? The opponent isn't even going to throw it, and we take that game. In the next battle, this time we see Zacian in the lead. We're going to save switch into Zapdos. The opponent farm up a boatload of energy and then send out Landorus. With a huge energy lead, this is a very nice matchup for us. 2 Drill Pecks will knock out, so we should force a shield before the opponent even reaches the Stone Edge. We actually end up playing to the CMP side. We do not win. Big shield deployed, correctly shielding up the Stone Edge, and that should pretty much shore up this mid-game matchup. We go for an undercharge in case the opponent doesn't want the shield. They do invest that Protect Shield, but they're just going to get outpaced. Is the opponent willing to 2-shield here in the mid-game? The opponent does put up that Protect Shield, then go for the quick switch back into Zacian, looking for the snipe. The opponent fire off the Wild Charge, picking up the knockout. We send out Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh going to be doing massive damage with the Incinerates, and we see a savage catching the double resisted Wild Charge back onto Rhyperior. Very, very nice play. Rhyperior looks for the Mud Slap farm down, unfortunately unable to get it before the close combat's reached. theCharonsClaw making all the correct plays and shielding decisions to thus point in the battle. We know Landorus is alive. We're unsure on the third yet, although we very quickly find out it's Palkia. I would like to see us overfarm here, as the opponent can soak this Breaking Swipe, then look to snipe down Rhyperior, switch him back into Landorus. The opponent goes for exactly that. Sancia Storm actually isn't lethal. We see the pivot back out into Ho-Oh, able to get the Incinerate farm down, leaving with the Brave Bird. And Palkia, you good friend, are about to be knocked out by Ho-Oh. GG's. Heading into the next battle. Rhyperior into Dialga. Very nice lead for us. The opponent say switches into Zygarde, and this thing is somewhat of a problem. Rhyperior can kind of cheese its way through this matchup, especially if you're able to get some coin flip attack drops. If the opponent's running Bulldoze, that will of course hit us as super effective and has a chance to debuff our defense as well. It looks like the opponent doesn't get the defense drop. We then farm up to the double Breaking Swipe. Zygarde is so annoying. I hate this Pokemon with a passion. Optimus Prime, of course, able to withstand yet another Breaking Swipe. We're going to see theCharonsClaw invest the Protect Shield and look to remove him from the field of play with yet another Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe, force that Protect Shield, and we see the pivot into Zapdos. The opponent saves Zygarde and then send out Dialga. Zapdos pretty good, although if you see this thing you are very, very sad. Drill Peck not going to do much. The Thunderbolt also going to be resisted. Zapdos just going to fire off Drill Peck after Drill Peck. The second does at least get him below half health. The opponent's clearly had enough of being spammed with Drill Peck. Opt to fire off the Iron Head, removing Zapdos from the field of play. Ho-Oh enters the arena. Ho-Oh will be looking for that full Incinerate farm down, but not before there's time for yet another very nice catch. It's now Ho-Oh versus the world. The opponent saved Dialga, pivot back out into Zygarde. We are going to invest the final protection here, blocking up the crunch. We're already at 100 energy, but theCharonsClaw refusing to throw. Does get that full Incinerate farm down. Dialga nothing more than a sacrificial swap. Show me something we can nuke. Out comes Landorus. Okay, this is playable. We fire off the Brave Bird, of course, forcing the Protect Shield. The opponent doesn't make a catch. This Brave Bird will be landing on its intended target. Can we survive the Dragon Breaths with a quad debuff defense? Oof, who was worried? Evidently by my high-pitched voice, I was worried, but we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we found ourselves a mirror matchup. Quite a few Rhyperiors have actually opted for Surf now. It's good in the mirror and good into things like Landorus as well, I suppose. We're going to invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the first Breaking Swipe. We're then going to farm up, return fire with our own Breaking Swipe, going for that coin flip attack drop. The opponent obliges, matching Protect Shield, and we're able to win the charge attack priority. The opponent already down one Protect Shield, unwilling to shield the second. They survive on a sliver of HP. theCharonsClaw survives on slightly more than a sliver of HP and able to win that zero shield scenario. Out comes Giratina. We're going to send out Zapdos to the opponent, send out Tapu Bulu, and we make a savage catch, catching onto Ho-Oh. To be honest, both our Pokemon very much fancy the Tapu Bulu matchup, whereas Giratina is somewhat more of a problem. However, we don't like problems on this channel, we like solutions. The TheCharonsClaw's solution to that problem is farm this all the way down, leave at 100 energy. Reach back-to-back Brave Bird, one will be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield and one will be landing. The TheCharonsClaw also banked the Drill Peck on Zapdos, so you know it's coming. I know it's coming. The opponent might not if they don't watch the channel, but it's time to give them that wham bam combo play, serve up the Big Mac and the fries, and Drill Peck is going to be all she wrote. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we see Xerneas in the lead. The TheCharonsClaw might look to make a cheeky close combat catch onto Zapdos. We do exactly that play, but unfortunately the opponent opts not to throw. They bank a bucket load of energy and then send out Palkia. Palkia, going to invest in Protect Shield, blocking up the Drill Peck. The TheCharonsClaw, going to commit to the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, going to do more damage, and quite a lot of damage at that, rocking the opponent actually into the red health range. The opponent then gets super greedy. Trainer, what are you doing? I've got no idea why the opponent didn't throw there, and I'm now not entirely sure why they're throwing here. They could have just committed to the farm down. The opponent making a real mess of this mid-game matchup. The TheCharonsClaw looking to capitalise on the opponent's misplays, sends out Rhyperior, looks for the Mud Slap farm down. The opponent looking to get themselves back in the game, go for the combo play into Xerneas. We shield up the close combat and then catch the next one onto the Firebird of Death. The opponent not a fan of that play whatsoever, and they concede the match. Very nicely done. In the next battle, once again, we see the Rhyperior mirror. We see the Shadow versus the Purified. So, of course, the TheCharonsClaw, the pressure's all with you, my good friend, as you cannot lose to a Purified Pokemon. We're able to force the first Protect Shield. The TheCharonsClaw going to match, invest in a Protect Shield of his own. Last time we saw the TheCharonsClaw was able to win CMP, and it looks like, again, we're able to win the Charge Attack priority. Shadow Rhyperior, proven to be the top Rhyperior out of all the Rhyperiors. We've been able to beat the regular and the Purified. The TheCharonsClaw Rhyperior actually still not done, able to fire off a Breaking Swipe at the outcoming Giratina. We then see the pivot into Ho-Oh, and it's actually a Simul Swap into the mirror. The opponent not even looking to mess around with any silly Sacred Fire bait, go straight for the Brave Bird. The TheCharonsClaw going to take the initiative as they've debuffed their own defense to fire off that Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire force the opponent's final protection. We look to fire off the Brave Bird, but unfortunately lose the Charge Attack priority. Brave Bird secures the knockout. We send out Zapdos. Zapdos comes in, looks for that full Thundershock farm down, which we're able to get. The TheCharonsClaw going to unleash the Drill Peck. Drill Peck will do some very nice chip damage. The opponent now receives energy for the Ancient Power. We try to make the catch unsuccessfully. Back out comes Zapdos, and Zapdos Bulk is about to be put to the test. Ancient Power isn't enough to knock out. We've got the next Drill Peck locked and loaded, and Zapdos will be emerging victorious. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we're going to lead Shadow Rhyperior into Primarina. If this thing's on Waterfall, we have found ourselves a problem. Thankfully, it's on Charm. So both Rhyperior and Ho-Oh ironically do quite well into this thing, as opposed to when it's on Waterfall, it would beat them both. This time it's the TheCharonsClaw opponent making the nice catch, catching the Rock Wrecker onto their own Rhyperior. The TheCharonsClaw more than happy to stay in, fire off the Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe is survivable. The opponent looks for the Mud Slap farm down, which they're unable to get. It ends in a Simulcare. We're now in the guessing game. We send out Ho-Oh, and back out comes Primarina. The TheCharonsClaw with 2 shields. Going to be investing one here, as Hydro Cannon would do a lot. Out comes Kyogre. We see this opponent running an interesting ABA water strategy. We bank on energy on Ho-Oh, and Zapdos hits the field of play. Zapdos going to be putting up that Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming serve. The opponent still hanging on to 2 Protect Shields. The TheCharonsClaw farms up. Oof. Not great timing. Of course, 1, 4 and 7 is the way to go. We do give the opponent a full free Waterfall. The next time we do throw the correct 1 Thundershock and the Drill Peck, looking to throw out optimal timing. Despite that alignment throw, Zapdos actually able to reach 1 further Drill Peck. Drill Peck actually isn't lethal. The opponent then snipes with Primarina, and it's all down to Ho-Oh to clean up. Primarina is energy dry. We are going to unleash the Sacred Fire, not wanting to debuff our own defense. Sacred Fire, of course, will be lethal. Can the opponent reach the surf? They cannot. Ho-Oh gets the resisted Incinerate farm down, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see Rhyperior into Ho-Oh. The opponent says no thank you. Safe switch into Dawn Wings, and we are full sending the Rock Wrecker. Rock Wrecker Unfortunately goes shielded. I think that's quite an obvious break-in swipe. Fish for a debuff and pivot. So I thought the opponent might call it, but they're like, nah, it's a shadow. We're going to respect the damage. I'm so sad they did. One point to note, if you are going to run Zapdos in the Master League, unlike the Great and Ultra League, you can't constantly CMP type things and expect to come out on top. You've seen theCharonsClaw has been caught out a few times. Playing to CMP types, he does not win. However, despite that, Zapdos' pacing is still incredible, able to force the final Protect Shield and still remove Dawn Wings from the field of play. Back out comes Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh does get a very nice Incinerate farm down. At least this time we're not going to get Solar Beam. That's only 3 Incinerates. But this is Shadow and Shadow Crime. Brave Bird does a lot of resisted damage and the opponent able to snipe with Palkia. theCharonsClaw once again tasks Ho-Oh with cleanup duty. He's going to burn the final Protect Shield, blocking up the Aqua Tail. He overfarms, ensuring he is going to be able to outpace the return of Ho-Oh. The question is, does a Brave Bird pick up the one shot from this range? Oh my god. Yes, it does. Absolutely perfect endgame. Once again, with Shadow Ho-Oh just running rampant in the back. GG's. Heading into the next battle. Another Necrozma, but this one is the Dusk Mane variant. So I'm kind of surprised to see the opponent not instantly pivot out. If you're going to run this thing, you must have answers for Rhyperior in the back, as it is probably the most common Pokemon in the meta currently. If the opponent's staying in, they must have something else that doesn't want to see Rhyperior in the back. theCharonsClaw recognises that, banks all of his energy, goes to the snipe with Ho-Oh, which we're able to get at the cost of just tanking a Dark Pulse in the process. The opponent then sends out Palkia. Ho-Oh with an energy lead, going to go straight for the Brave Bird. We saw in the previous battle this needs to be respected. The opponent wisely put up that Protect Shield and are going to get a very nice Dragon Breath farm down. theCharonsClaw sends back out Rhyperior. Our move doesn't show up and we don't sneak a quick move. Niantic, please fix this game. theCharonsClaw opts to throw the Breaking Swipe. While Breaking Swipe is super effective, Rock Wrecker does objectively more. The opponent tanks the first, but we've got 2, so we might as well throw the second. The second does force that Protect Shield, and we see a very, very nice catch. Catching yet another move onto Zapdos. theCharonsClaw's clearly been to school, and he knows his counts. Out comes Ho-Oh. My trainer, do you have a Death Wish? Zapdos unleashes the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt isn't quite lethal, but able to Thundershock farm down afterwards. Back out comes Palkia. Palkia looks for the Dragon Breath farm down, but Zapdos will not be denied, and this time it's Zapdos' turn to sweep the backline. GG's. Heading into the next battle. Well, that's not the lead we're looking for. We've got 2 answers in the back, so once again we're going to utilise Zapdos in the safe switch position. The opponent opts to stay in, so we could have took the initiative and went for the Drill Peck, as that would be commanding a Protect Shield, as that does like 90%, as we've already seen. The opponent debuff our defense and then send out Palkia. We go straight for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt forces the Protect Shield and the opponent does Dragon Breath farm down. We send out Rhyperior. Aqua Tail is double super effective. We are going to see the shield deployed before likely looking to fish for a debuff. At least that was the play I was expecting, but it looks like theCharonsClaw has other ideas. He's going to try and mod slap this into a range where a Breaking Swipe will remove Palkia from the field of play. He farms up a bucket of energy, unleashes the Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe goes unshielded, and we do leave with that energy good to go. If Tapu Bulu does return, I was going to anticipate as YOLO in the Rock Wrecker, but out comes Waterfall Primarina. Something else we can Rock Wrecker. Rock Wrecker forces the final protection. I think this one surely is going to end in defeat. Even we can survive this Hydro Cannon and 2 further Waterfalls, which we're actually able to do. Shout out Ho-Oh. Very nice bulk little buddy. The opponent's going to be 12 turns off the Nature's Madness, and we are 15 to a Brave Bird. However, the opponent continuing to overfarm. Why? I have no idea. Rhyperior's energy dry. You could have just knocked us out and Bullet Seed farm down our Rhyperior. A bit of a throw from the opponent, but we take those. Heading into the next battle. We see Zacian in the lead. The opponent enters the mirror. theCharonsClaw goes to the correct play, throwing the Breaking Swipe immediately to deny the opponent. You don't really deny. They're technically 1 turn to switch, so it's going to be like 1 turn behind. Hence you don't see a Mud Slap sneak. We're actually able to win the 0 shield scenario. Out comes Yveltal. We commit to the Rock Wrecker. Unfortunately unable to get it, but Zapdos hits the field of play. We're going to see the instant shield deployed. As theCharonsClaw knows, this energy is going to be universally useful. The opponent fire off the Oblivion Wing that is resisted, but still doing a lot. As Shadow Zapdos is 1 squishy boy. Back out comes Zacian. We fire off the Drill Peck, forcing the Protect Shield, and the next time we are full send of the Thunderbolt, looking to get maximum damage. Thunderbolt lands, rocking the opponent below half health, and the opponent is going to be forced to throw. The opponent throws at very nice timing on the charge attack priority. Wild Charge, of course, easy going to pick up the knockout, but it also debuffs their defense, setting up the opportunity for Ho-Oh to come in, get a running start. We shield at the Wild Charge, which is a good shield as Wild Charge, probably the hardest move left in the game. I anticipated doing more than a stab Oblivion Wing. Ho-Oh farmed up to 100 energy before unleashing the Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire forced the Protect Shield and gets the attack drop, meaning we should survive any one move reasonably well. The opponent fires off the Oblivion Wing, which simply does not get the job done. We've got the Brave Bird locked and loaded, and Ho-Oh going to claim yet another victim. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we've got my favourite Pokemon in the world, I'm just kidding, Zygarde, aka Optimus Prime. Nice to catch it in the lead. Rhyperior, probably our best response. We're going to farm up, throw the Breaking Swipe on the CMP side to the potential Crunch or Bulldoze. We see the theCharonsClaw, a beneficiary of some good fortune, getting that coin flip attack drop. The opponent fire off the Bulldoze. The theCharonsClaw once again going to farm up, throw on the charge attack priority, but we've already seen this simply isn't going to knock out as Zygarde is so incredibly thick. We go 2 for 2 on attack drops, meaning we probably survive this Bulldoze. Not well, but we probably survive. We survive on 1 HP and a Dream and see the pivot into Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh looks to resist and Incinerate farm down, but Zygarde, as it always does, just refuses to die, able to reach the Crunch. As the double debuff, that did essentially nothing, and we exit at 80 energy. Landorus enters the arena, but Ho-Oh flapping away, goes straight for the Brave Bird. Brave Bird forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Ho-Oh already the next Brave Bird. Is the opponent going to double shield very quickly? Yes, they are. The theCharonsClaw then farms up. Oh, that is so nasty. Trainer, you really shouldn't allow us to make a catch when using a 5-turn move, but I'm not complaining, but that is heartbreaking for the opponent. I have been known to poke fun at Zygarde users saying they've got no skills. The opponent should have went for 2 mud shots on the charge move. They went for 3, allowing us to make a catch, which would have been dreadful timing, so I'm really not sure what that opponent was doing. Then went for a Sancia Storm bait, but no bait. We'll be saving this opponent's fate, as they've got Necrozma in the back, even debuffed Sacred Fire, going to pick up the 1-shot, and we take that game. Unfortunately, heading into the final battle of today's video, despite not having the Pokemon for Master League, I always love shoutcasting in this format. The opponent led Yveltal and save switched into an Ice Fang Zamazenta. We're going to farm to the Rock Wrecker, throw the Breaking Swipe, which isn't a bait. You don't really want to throw a Rock type move at a fighter. We'll then send out Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh can tank any one move. The opponent fire off the Moonblast. Moonblast close combat? Question mark. It's got to be close combat, because if they had Crunch Moonblast, they probably would have thrown a Crunch there, but that moveset doesn't make too much sense. I think you're going to run close combat as you're a fighter. The opponent does throw the close combat, forcing a Protect Shield. We get our Protect Shield back with the Brave Bird, unfortunately unable to reach the next one before we get Sucker Punch farm down. We now opt to realign, sending out Zapdos. Zapdos tanks the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse does so much damage, and out comes Dusk Mane. Dusk Mane going to be greeted with the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt lands, rocking the opponent down to around a 3rd health. We pivot into Rhyperior. Rhyperior will be looking for that 1 shield. Full Mud Slap farm down. Can we get it before the next Dark Pulse is reached? Yes, we can. Rhyperior then farms up, and we're full sending. Win con for the opponents, probably looking to call the bait. We full send the Rock Wrecker, nuking them through the Protect Shield, and we take that game. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's shoutcast with this very powerful, destructive Triple Shadow team in the Open Master League. A huge shout out to the theCharonsClaw for providing the battle footage. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new. Consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel. A link to my battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.